Market segmentation is the process of dividing a target market into smaller, more defined categories. It segments customers and audiences into groups that share similar characteristics such as demographics, interests, needs, or locations. Now, this process is fairly simple. You can begin by brainstorming how your idea or technology can serve a variety of potential end users. And remember, the potential end user is the person who will be using your product at the end of the day, not necessarily the person who's going to be buying that product. And you can narrow this list down of potential end users to come up with several promising categories for a market. Then you simply create your assumptions and conduct your primary market research. And it's important to remember that this step is crucial. And if mistakes are made in this step, it'll affect everything else later to come. Consider the following demographics: age, gender, income, location, education, and ethnicity. Another important area is psychographics. This would be the qualitative methodology of studying consumers based on psychological characteristics and traits such as values, desires, goals, interests, and lifestyle choices, whereas demographics are more of a quantitative approach. These could include personalities, the collection of traits that someone consistently exhibits over time; lifestyles, the collection of someone's day-to-day activities, their associations, where they live, or where they spend their time; interests, which could include hobbies, pastimes, media consumption habits, and whatever else someone does to occupy their time; opinions or beliefs, which are just that, and they can be political, religious, or perhaps the lack thereof; and finally, values, the sense of right and wrong. The best way for an innovative startup to lay the groundwork for a solid company is to dominate a narrow, carefully defined market that serves a particular end user. For example, an education startup would be poorly served by targeting the general category of teachers, as this end user is too general. Never be too general when deciding on a market. At this stage, you really want to be an effective brainstormer. Get the right people involved in the conversation. And this doesn't just have to be the founding team members. It can be anyone you deem as necessary as taking part in this conversation. That being said, you definitely want the founding team there, as they bring a lot to the conversation. And having a good founding team is going to make this step a lot easier moving forward. Get in the right place with the right tools. Find a place where everyone's comfortable. Disconnect from all outside distractions such as email or text messages. And make sure you have a lot of sticky notes on a whiteboard because you're going to be using them. During this process, you want to have a clear path to success for a good brainstorming session. Defer judgment, get one idea at a time, and keep in mind there are no bad ideas in this stage, and just, in general, encourage conversation amongst members. Find someone to facilitate and enforce the rules set out in the bullets above. This person ensures that everyone gets input and avoids groupthink or dominant personalities. You really want to have people in the right mindset for these meetings. You want the yes and mindset. That way, everything's a correct answer and it always leads to something else to keep ideas bouncing off one another and keep the conversation going. And just make sure that people aren't veering off too far into other directions during these meetings and brainstorming sessions, because some people want to develop a new product or fix something they have, but that's not what this is about. This is about potential end users, and it should be kept that way. Lay out what the idea or the technology is. What are the industries that use this technology? Where does this product apply? Is there a similar product to yours? And if so, who are their end users? And lastly, how would end users use this product? And at this point, you really want to focus on your team's values, their passions, their goals, and eliminate any choices that may not line up with any of those. Each person is going to have a team with maybe 10 end users, and you really want to start cutting that down to 2 or 3. And, we're going to be taking a lot of things we learned in other videos here, like primary market research that's going to come in handy after these steps. And just keep in mind, if your end users are wrong and your assumptions are wrong in these stages, it's okay, because this is all preliminary and it can all be redone. Now, I would like to end this short video with a quote that I feel best sums up the idea of market segmentation. Don't find customers for your product. Find products for your customers.